Okay. My screen. Okay. So thank everyone for joining today. Today's focus will be problem management, and we'll move change along with Service Catalog and Service Portal on Monday, given some of the bugs that we found out. So I'm gonna jump in the PowerPoint. So a little bit of background on problem management, and then we'll go into the tool to do a demo. And if you can mute yourself, that would be great, so we don't get any background noise. Okay, starting off, what is a problem? ITIL defines the problem as the underlying cause of one or more incidents. And that relationship inserts now where when we incident, we can create a problem, and then we can reference those incidents within the problem record. So we have the relationship. And problem management is a process responsible for managing the life cycle of all the problems, from the beginning when we identify to when we investigate, document the root cause, and hopefully we resolve the problem. The goal is to prevent problems, but also resulting incidents from happening. A little bit on the workflow. So we start with detection and login. So in this point, whoever logging in the problems, they can be using incident management, meaning they're relating the incidents to the problem, and they can be using knowledge. So they can also attach or create knowledge articles to problem record. Then to investigation and diagnosis, this is where if you have CIs, you would be using configuration management. Finally, resolution and closure. So this is where you would need to define if you need to create a change from the problem, and also if you need to create a knowledge article for other users to be able to view that. I'll jump in the tool so you can see the demo. I'm able to see my development instance, and I'm going to go ahead and impersonate an ITIL user so we can see what they see in the problem application. So I'm going to go ahead and impersonate Troy. Okay, great. Tuning into the application navigator, we start typing problem so we can see the problem application, the modules we get. So the overview module would show the dashboard, and you can add content to it. But these are the box widths that you get with problem. So you would be able to see the counts for problems, and then some dashboards and reports down here that you can click into to view more details. All problems, pending, the ones that are in the state of pending, open, the same thing. And if at any point you're unsure, there's always filters, so you would be able to check where you're at. Known errors, this is if you indicate within the problem record that the has a known error, then that would be in this module, and I'll show you that. Assign, this is if a problem is assigned to the person that logged in. In this case, it's Troy. And new. This is what would come in to create a new problem record. So look, so when we first click on create new, there's a few things that we notice out of the box on this form. We see it's pre-populated and the priority is set low, but you can also change the priority. The opened and opened by, those are automatically filled out by the system. They're logged. The state is in the state of new. And then as the problem progresses, then you're able to move to different states. So in progress, an error, pending change, closed, solved, and validation. Assignment and assigned to are fields, so you would have to fill them out before submitting the form. We also show description, and description are mandatory. I'm just going to go ahead and put something in here. And notes, root codes, you're able to click on any of these to indicate root cause, and then cause analysis. So this is where you would write more information depending on the root cause codes. And the workaround field and work notes. Notice that because problems are internal to an organization, we don't see additional comments. So this is all internal. You're not communicating with an end user, so we don't see an additional comments box, just like incident records. So we only have work notes for fulfillers to communicate on the status of the problem, and then you can add people on the work notes list. They're notified every time there's any activity in the problem record. So you get an email here, or you add someone from the system that's a user in the ServiceNow system. Okay. Box, if you do click on this, this indicates that the problem has a known error. Or alternatively, you can unclick this and you can choose the state to be known error, and that indicates error. So when you see the record, I'm going to go ahead and actually copy this number so we have it. If problem record and we navigate to the known errors module here, we see our problem now is in known errors application. So if you click on the known error checkbox or the state, it should indicate as a known error, and then it moves it to the errors module. Now, if we were to change the state from known error to pending change, and an update. You see that there's an audit log. So if we scroll down on this problem record, it says state pending change was a known error. So know that the change, that there's been a change in this record. So now keeps a log of everything that has been changed, so there's an audit trail. That's one key thing to remember, that there's always information in the activity log of what has been changed in any of the records in ServiceNow. To change the state to closed or resolved, either save or update. So we can right click on the header and click save. Everything becomes read only. So it means that you as a user is not able to make any changes, and this problem is now closed and resolved. And hopefully at that time you would have filled out all the close notes, the cause and root cause analysis, so it can be used by the organization. So you would want to fill out as much information as possible in these fields before actually closing the problem record.
Should
Yes.
When you're going back into the system and trying to figure out if you've got that have been resolved, so you can kind of test to see what other people might have done to resolve them. Is it searchable form kind of thing, or is it?
The known errors? So if there is a known error, it would be here. Are you referring to incidents tied to the problem?
Yeah.
So nothing specific that would say it would be through incidents. So there's multiple incidents related to the problem, that those would show up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That way you would be able to find out. I see the box, there's no such thing as looking to find any other relevant problems unless you search the knowledge base. So you search the knowledge base and see.
I just have to replicate a lot of different, several different locations, but yeah, I could see where that would.
Okay.
Sunil here.
Yes.
You are trying to close the problem, right? So ask for closing notes and root cause.
It's
so Was it like that? Um,
So
At least should ask
practice,
for the root cause
right.
codes and closed notes, right? If
So,
there's a problem without the closing notes and root cause,
yeah.
it won't be helpful for others.
Usually, best practice would be for those fields to be mandatory, and I was wondering the same thing, but I'm not sure when you guys did the requirements gathering if you indicate that you wanted those fields mandatory. Something that can be easily configured. I don't know the details of how you guys had it set up.
Are you there on the call?
I am. Off the top of my head, I don't recall if we had those all required. I'd have to take a look at the story.
Right.
Yeah, we'll take that and come back to you.
Because it would be a training, a knowledge transfer training to have to tell your end users, your fulfillers, to actually fill them out before closing the but it would be helpful if at least, the notes, root cause, and root cause analysis were mandatory, so it forces the fulfillers to fill out the field before closing the problem. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, sure. Now I think the workaround field here. So if we do put a workaround, we first create the problem. Let me show you. So we're creating this problem. I'm just gonna put something in here. Okay. When we this communicate workaround, behind the scenes, the assignment group is getting a notification of the workaround for this problem. So that's something that you guys have set up in your system for the assignment group to get notified if there's a workaround. The way they're informed. Navigate to an open problem. And through the incidents here and the problem tasks. So we have a problem here, and this is a new problem. If you saw at the bottom, this is where you would view any related incidents and problem tasks. So practice would be, if you are using, and obviously you guys are using problem management, is to break it down into tasks so you can make people able to work on those individual tasks. Click on New, the problem task form here. It looks very similar to the problem form. We still have an assignment group, an assigned to, same fields. It references the problem record. We do date though, and this forces the fulfiller to work on the problem by an assigned date. If we want to tie in a CI, we can. One task. Now, on the incident part here, we do see that we have one related incident. I'm going to close this and close this. And this one. Incident, this is 121. So, and this is something I may have to follow up on. It should close. I'm going to take a note that incident when in the context menu. So I'll take a follow up on that. So I'm going to navigate to an incident record to show how, and we did this a little bit in the demo of incidents, how you create a problem from an incident. So to an incident that has already been created. If you click on the context menu here, I believe this is not a good example. So click on context menu here. We're able to create a problem. So now created. If we scroll on, we do see that the associated incident shows up at the bottom here. Navigate back to my problem record. Now, things we do have related links here. So again, communicate workaround sends a notification to the assignment group. We'll have post knowledge and post news. So, for example, if you want to create a knowledge article from the problem immediately, and you do not want to wait until the problem is closed, you can do that. So to do it would be, I'm going to fill out this field here. Knowledge checkbox is checked. I'm going to go ahead and save the record. And I can post knowledge. A knowledge article has been created. I can take this out and search for it. And we see that when this article is created, it takes the short description from that problem, and it puts it in the knowledge article. And this is not a very good example. Ideally, you would have the text and the body and a short description, but it takes the short description from the problem and it creates a knowledge article. Now, this article will be in the draft state. That means that it will need to be approved by a knowledge manager for this article to be published and visible to fulfillers. So right now, this knowledge article is in the draft state. Go ahead and copy this down, and then I'm going to impersonate David. Show you how that workflow works. And go ahead and search for the knowledge article that we did, and we can search for it here. The workflow. That the article is in the draft state. The article created as an ITIL user, and David and I do have rights to publish and approve articles. If I click on publish, the workflow moves. So we do see that now this article is published. I'll go ahead and impersonate Troy again, an ITIL user. Back to a problem record. Thing happens with post news. The difference is that the post news would post it was something in the portal instead of in this interface here. So guys are using news, the news category for knowledge, then it would post in the portal. And then the session here, this is for troubleshooting. The buttons you will be using the most obviously is the update, and then the right click and save to save and stay within the same record. Again, as in a task-based record in ServiceNow or any record in general, you can add attachments, you can personalize. If you turn off and on any fields here, they would not show up on the form. We recommend that this does not get changed. If your form is set up in this way, we recommend that you just leave it in this view. It ensures that you're filling out all the fields that you need to fill out. And this one is the activity stream. So if you click on this, it scrolls down and it brings you to the activity section of the problem form. I'm going to take a break and see if I covered everything that I wanted. One more thing, from this problem we can create a normal change or create an emergency change. So if we click on any of these, it creates a change record, and change has been created. Now, if you scroll down on the change record, we see that that problem is associated to this change, and we can access it via this related list here. So this ties to the change that we just created. I'm going to pause for any questions. And then I need to check would be this functionality here of closing the incidents. I want to see if out of the box this should be, when we close it through here, that it closes this incident tied to this problem. Check on that after we're done. Any And the command, for example, I see that you guys are not using the configuration item field within the problem. You can clean up this view. So if you're not using it, you could configure it so that it show up. The incidents is useful since you would want to see if there's any related incidents to the problem and other fields as well. So I would keep the other ones. A bit of a cleaner view here. Do you have any questions? Is there anything else we can demo?
I do not have any questions at this time, and I know everyone has a really busy schedule. Apologies to all on the call. We will make sure that the change is ready to go for the next testing or training, which will be on Monday. So please do attend that one. We'll be going over service requests and change records. So thank you again, everybody. Does anyone have any further questions for Vaso while we've got her on the line?
Yeah, so this is Shashikant from an AD team, Active Directory team. Yeah, I've been trying to connect, but from the past 2 days I've been facing issues in connecting to the WebEx. I don't know why. I was getting an error. So is there any recording session or anything that I can go through? Because just today I was able to get and connected to this WebEx.
So this session is recorded. I'm going to send that to the EM from our side, and he will distribute to your team. So you have the recording of this session.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Send out Monday's recording. Did you not receive it?
Let's see, because I was getting an error like we have let the host know you are here, but I was not able to connect to the.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
And the email that has the URL in there says Outlook blocked access to the following potentially unsafe attachment.
Okay. I was not, so that's good feedback to me. Thank you very much. So I will attempt to send the attachments again in a different manner, and I'll send them out to everyone. Has anyone else received that same error? Okay.
I did.
So, yeah, so please, I hope you have my mail ID so that you can reply back recording or whatever details you have.
Yeah, we'll get that out to you all as well.
Yeah, please. That would be help.
Yep. Thank you again, Vaso.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good weekend. Thank you.